We're going to talk about a couple things in this video because despite the conflict in Ukraine raging on and frankly intensifying, there's a couple things I want to talk to you about that are literally happening right now. The US major indices seem to be faring pretty well over the past 5 days, but US retailers are starting to warn that there will be a business impact on them because of the conflict in Ukraine. So stick around. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Richard Allen with TipRanks TV. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. My goodness, the volatility absolutely continues. I've been moving recently. That's why you haven't seen my face in the past few days. But welcome me back down in the comments if you'd like, and let me know if you missed me or not. You know, I want to hear both ways. But it's been a crazy, crazy time in the market. The first thing I want to tell you right now is Dow futures are dropping more than 300 points following reports from Ukraine and the largest nuclear power plant in Europe. This is really, really concerning because this could be far worse of a disaster than Chernobyl if this nuclear power plant was to actually blow up, God forbid. So this is developing right now. So the stock market isn't looking great for tomorrow. And in fact, it wasn't a great day today. Both the Dow and S&P were down slightly. The NASDAQ was down almost 1.5%. So it was a big, big loss of a day for all the major indices here. But over the past 5 days, both the S&P and the Dow are actually up 1.5%, while the NASDAQ is up around 0.4% over the past 5 days. So the major indices here in the US, major companies seem to be faring okay overall. Sentiment seems to still be kind of strong, and I think that has to do with people buying the dip. But I want to hear from you guys. What are you doing with your portfolio right now? Are you excited that we have these low prices? Are you buying the dip? Are you staying on the sidelines and waiting for all of this to kind of shake out? Or are you just holding on for dear life and hoping that nothing worse happens with your portfolio? Or are you selling like crazy? I want to hear from you down in the comments. Let me know. Again, my thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Ukraine and honestly the people of Russia that don't want this conflict to be happening right now. It's just scary, scary times across the board. The second thing I want to talk to you guys about is retailers are starting to warn of a major business impact because of the conflict over in Ukraine. So you have companies like Nike and Apple and others coming out and saying, look, we're not doing business with Russia right now, at least until they stop the conflict. You have companies like Victoria's Secret coming out and saying there's for certainly going to be a business impact on us from less business in Russia and Ukraine. Analysts are saying that the biggest concern for retailers is how long the conflict and the surrounding uncertainty will drag on. There's a statement from Nike saying we are deeply troubled by the devastating crisis in Ukraine, and our thoughts are with all those impacted, including our employees, partners, and their families in the region. You also have retailers like American Eagle Outfitters saying that this will certainly impact their next quarter. Kohl's has come out and said, look, there's a lot of uncertainty going on in the market right now. So what are you guys doing with your money right now? Are you spending like crazy, like it seemed like people have been doing over the past year? That's why inflation's getting out of control, honestly, right? Is because supply and demand aren't in sync with one another. There's too little supply and too much demand, so prices have to rise. It's just economics 101, right? So there's a chance that this conflict has an impact on inflation in a downward way, that inflation might go down because of this, because people are spending less. But what are you doing with your money? Are you spending less because of this conflict? Are you buying less Nikes and less Victoria's Secret pants? Obviously, what are you doing with your money? Please let me know. I want to hear from you guys. And again, I want to stress this over and over and over again. Don't panic in this market. There's a lot of volatility. There's a lot of uncertainty. So you guys are aware of kind of what I'm doing, what I'm feeling with my portfolio. I'm buying like crazy. I'm buying the dip because I don't think this is going to last forever. And I'm spending my money on companies that I believe in long-term companies that I can look away from. And as long as something doesn't fundamentally change with those companies, I don't care what price I buy them at, because I'm willing to hold those companies long-term. For instance, Open Door has been beat down recently, and I got my cost basis to under $9 per share. So that is, for me, that's crazy because the numbers that they just released in their earnings, I think were fantastic, even though they had some massive stock-based compensation of $500 million, in fact, last year. That didn't look fantastic overall, but everything else was great for their numbers. They're hitting targets that they didn't plan on hitting for 4 or 5 years out. They're expanding like crazy. I really think that Open Door is going to be a big deal in the future, and I'm happy to have a ton of shares. I think I recently bought 1,000 shares, and I got my cost basis under $9 per share because, again, my thesis hasn't changed for the company, and the fundamentals of that company haven't changed. So what is a stock that you guys feel the same way I do about Open Door, that you're really, really excited about, that the fundamentals haven't changed, and you're purchasing right now because it's a beat down and the stock price is so low? Let me know. Let me know if you're even into that sort of thing. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for another video. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Stay calm. Don't panic out there. If you found any value in this video at all, or you learned something new, hit that like and subscribe button for me. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.